Hello there and good morning! Welcome to my channel Marley Design. My name is Marlies. For today, for me, it is Monday morning. It is the start of a new week where I can also bring you new ideas for junk journaling. You can already see a little bit what is in front of me. Last weekend I have been asked by Marloes from Doeading, a wonderful and beautiful craft store in the Netherlands, in Spijkenisse. And I've been asked by Marloes to do a demo on the Tim Holtz watercolor pencils. And I must say I had the most perfect day. I have met the most wonderful and sweetest people. Marloes and her team took such good care of me, and the only thing I had to do was to bring some Tim Holtz watercolor pencils idea to the table, having a blast trying things out and showing the people how those watercolor pencils work. After demoing, I also had the time to wander around a little bit in the store. And what a joy! This is a store so very well stocked, and especially my heart goes out to the Tim supplies, and yeah, it is fully packed with Tim goodies. So while I wandered around in the store, I bought these new well, not new, for me they are new, because I have never had these colors before. So I treated myself. It is a totally neutral palette, and I cannot wait to, work with them, get started. So there is no better way than to use them today in this video. Also on my table are different kinds of papers, old book pages, some tissue paper, some tea-dyed paper, and I have some craft paper laying here underneath. And then the title of this video, Easy Peasy Potato Art. What? And yes, you have read that right. It is potato art for today. Real potatoes. With these potatoes I will use a lino cut set, so I can cut out patterns that I like. But I can keep talking about this, but I can better show you. So let me clear my table, drink my cup of tea, and I will get started. What I need first is a couple of papers with something in the background, so we can do our potato art on top of that. That means I'm just going to make some simple backgrounds with my inks that I just showed you in a very easy and random way. Let's get started. My first paper is a leftover piece of my mega sheet, one of my last videos. And you can, you can also see it is a bit of a leftover. There's still some black and white paint on there. I don't mind, it all brings something extra to the table. And what I would like to do is to use these two distress ink pads, the Black Soot and the Pumice Stone, to create some kind of blocks. Because they have a very nice square shape of a pad, you can very easily make blocks on your paper. Okay, so my ink blocks are on, and because distress ink is a water reactive medium, I will spray this with my water bottle sprayer and see how the ink will flow on top of my paper. I have sprayed quite some water on top to activate the ink. Right here you can see some of the colors are going to mix a bit. I don't mind, that is just what I want. And you can see you can also move the water and ink around a bit. The top of my paper is dry right now, but I will turn the paper so I can do something else on the bottom. On this part of the paper I will use two other kinds of distress ink, walnut stain and tea dye. These pads are also very easy to use in in a stripe. So I will pick up one of the pads and drag the pad over my paper. My first layer is dry, but I would like to use this color, the tea dye, to give, this piece of the paper a little bit more of an accent. So I will turn my paper, use the tea dye color ink pad, and also swipe it across the paper like this. My first two papers are done, but because of the drying, you know, they curl and buckle a little bit. I will put them under a heavy stack of books, and when they have been flattened out, yeah, you can work on them. Now I will try to spice up these, well, very plain old vintage book pages. I will do that with the Distress Ink brushed corduroy and frayed burlap. And for my third background, I changed my mind. I showed you in the beginning of the video I had some tissue paper, I have put that to the side, and I have decided to try two different kinds of tea bags. This tea bag is quite light of color, with a little bit of tea staining in those creases. And on this side we have a tea bag that is very well colored. I can see some brown, I can see some yellow, even a bit of orange over here. And that is the beauty of trying, because then later on we can see how these two turn out and what is the difference. What I will do on top of these tea bags is stamping. I have this stamp set from Set Apter. I already have it in my stash for a long time. And I think this grid stamp would be awesome in the background on the tea bag. And I think I will use this one on the second tea bag. I will use the stamps with the Archival Ink Black Suit. My backgrounds are done, they are under a heavy stack of books to flatten them out. So now on to the fun part. Let's cut our potatoes. I have a cutting board, my potatoes, a sharp knife and my lino cutter. What I will do first is make a cut like this. Then you will have two halves. And on those halves I will create a pattern with my lino cutter. Now that my first potato is cut, I can also do the rest of the potatoes, and I will pay attention to the shape of the potato and in what kind of way I can use them. Because the potato does not have to be cut like this, they can also be cut like this. I will cut the other ones and I will be right back. My potato cutting is done, so now it is time to test all the potato stamps. I have some craft colored paper, white paper and a piece of black paper. I just want to keep it simple today, but you can imagine if you want some other papers like ledger paper or one of the Tim Holtz backdrops, that is also totally fine. I'm going to stamp with the Distress paint. I have a little assortment over here. And this is the first test run. I think they look gorgeous, beautiful. You can already see that if you take, for example, 1, 2, 3 of those potato stamps, you can create a patterned background for your junk journals. You can also do that when you choose to go for the leaf kind of potato stamps. A second thing that comes to mind is to cut those out as a shape. Also use them in your journal, glue them down, or make some kind of flowers out of them. But yeah, I like this first test piece. Now let's try it out on white paper. And this is my second round on white paper. And I also did a third round on craft colored paper. After stamping on the black, the white and the craft colored paper, I have cut all my shapes out. What are we going to do next? Well, these were like test pieces, but yeah, I think we can also use them. They look nice. They have a great shape and a great size to work with. So yeah, this could be one of the possibilities. Use them as is. But I can also use the potato stems on the backgrounds that I created at the beginning of this video. So let's try some stuff out and play around. This was the first paper that I created. It is quite dark because the base is craft colored paper and the colors on top also are a bit dark. So I would like to stamp with my potato stems in a lighter color. Not in every single box, but I think I will randomly divide it a bit. You can see this as a basic paper, so it will be like in your stash, ready to go if you need something like this. And of course you do not have to use it like it is right now in whole. You can cut it into like tags or labels. Maybe you want to cut out a nice cute little window. It is to extend your paper stash with extra papers that you will have at hand when you need them. Let's go to the second paper that I created, you know, with the pad and swiping it across the page. So for this one I will take the other potato stems, the more like leaf kind, organic kind of shapes. And the color that I would like to try is a Distress Paint Antique Bronze. I really love how this one turned out. I mean, the organic shapes, a little bit like a leaf, and then also in combination with the colors that I've used, yeah, I think it's really beautiful. And again, I just told you on the other paper, this is just to extend your stash, and when you need it you can grab it. You can use it as is, like folding it double and use it as a double page, totally fine, but you can also cut it into pieces. Or maybe even die cut like a little mini file folder or a coin envelope, something like that. But yeah, really pretty. Now let's go to my book pages. I had some color right here in the middle and here on the left side. I would like to, well, stamp with my potatoes on top of those colored areas. And I think I will go for a dark color so it is visible. And yeah, I just want to try and see how it will turn out. The two colors of my choice are Black Soot and Scorched Timber. So these are my book pages, how they turned out. I totally like them. Also, these two papers are just like, yeah, basic papers that I can grab on the go when I need them, or pieces of them. I mean, you can cut them like this, or you can cut them in half like this. You can fold a little envelope out of it. You can even add more paint or ink, just the way you desire and what you like and prefer. Let's move forward to our last two pieces of paper that I had prepared. The two tea bags with a little bit of stamping on top. And like I said, my potato stems, I did some tryouts on the black, the white and the craft colored paper. I have cut them out and you can also use them in that way, the cutout pieces. I have put one of the larger stamps on top of the tea bags. This one is the white paper and this one is the craft colored paper. I would like to build up some layers, so I got out this. This is a piece of Tim Holtz collage paper that I treated with some candle wax in my last video. If you want to check that out, that would be great, so you will exactly know how I created this. I want to build up a little bit of a layer. I do not need this whole piece, I just need a little piece for this one on the left and a piece for this one on the right. You can see I have placed my collage paper, but there is a difference. I changed my mind on this one because the craft colored paper wasn't that very visible underneath my collage paper, and of course you want it to be seen, so I went for the light blue, the faded jeans color. I also would like a little layer on top of these leaves, so what did I do? I have created 2 labels, some text and numbers on top with the remnant rubs, and on top of that some die cut flowers out of black paper. And this is how my little clusters turned out. I have added a little bit of fabric, like a mummy cloth, on the left bottom corner. I have added on the right top a little piece of ephemera, and then all over I have splattered with some white acrylic paint and also some black acrylic paint. And here I have the total overview of this video. All my basic papers where I started out with some distress ink, some old book pages, some recycled tea bags, and this is what came out of our easy peasy potato art. It is just so simple. I mean, I always have potatoes in my kitchen, and yeah, I also have a lino cut set, so you can always make something out of a simple item. And something simple that we did today, you can do in whatever color you want. If you like pink or purple or greens, totally fine. You can choose whatever medium you like to work with. Today I have used distress paint, but you can also try it with a spray or with your gesso or maybe your ink pad. And I think it is also very diverse for making your papers because you can make background papers and you can also cut out these shapes. So you will have like an embellishment that you can use on a pocket, on a label, on a cluster, whatever you desire. It also means that when you use a potato, you can also use other kinds of different and very simple materials for stamping or mark making. So maybe you can do a little round in your kitchen and take a look what you have that you could use very easily for this kind of project. I have nothing more to add than only, yeah, let's go to your studio or your craft room and create. Let's play. And maybe with this video I gave you a little push to get there. I hope you had fun watching this video. When you do like my video, please like, subscribe or comment down below. Every interaction is very well appreciated. Thank you in advance. In my description box you will find a couple of links. A link to my Etsy store where you will find my digital kits for junk journaling. You will find a link for my coffee shop, and also all my links to my social platforms are there for when you would like to follow me. I will say goodbye to you so I can get a little bit more of playing time with my potato stems. Thank you for watching. Have an amazing day. Bye!